Welcome back, folks, to the VHS Vault. I am VHS Chase. Next to me is the man, Jason Roy Gaston. And normally, guys, when it comes to Jason, I'm slightly agitated. I'll be honest with you, I get slightly agitated. But all is forgiven this week. All is forgiven because Jason picked a movie for this week that I wasn't sure about, but I think you can already tell my reaction. I had a great time this week. Jace, what's the movie?
You were not sure? I'm shocked because this is a classic. This is Creepshow.
I don't know. I don't think I'd seen it since the mid-'80s. And I don't know why. So I had this, because we find this out in the VHS quite a lot. Hey, our memory of something doesn't always, equate to the reality of the current day when it comes to content. But this one, because it'd been so long, I was going low expectation. And nah, man, put it this way. A film where I could see the great Ed Harris do some disco dancing, I'm in. I'm in for the whole thing.
It's absolutely amazing.
Can I just say with Creepshow, this time watching it again, how delighted I am in the performances in this movie. This is a movie that lives and dies in the best way possible by some, really camp performances that are pitch perfect all the way through this movie.
Because it is a living comic book. This is, and I say this full well knowing that the MCU and the James Gunn DCU exist. Creepshow is the best adaptation of a comic book that has ever been made because it's not ashamed of being a comic book. It embraces being a comic book. Just all complete embrace of the entire concept. And I think it turns the entire experience not only into just a fun horror anthology, but an experience that we have not seen since. This was literal lightning in a bottle that no one has been able to replicate, not even the sequels, Creepshow 2, which is a pretty good movie, and then Creepshow 3, which also exists.
But I tell you what, the closest thing I reckon that's come to this, and now after rewatching it that he was heavily influenced by it, was Robert Rodriguez when putting together Sin City.
Yes, okay.
And I would still say this is probably better than that.
It's better than Sin City, but Sin City was great. It was beautiful to look at. And then, of course, Ang Lee with the Hulk, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about the Hulk.
Well, not yet. If you support Patreon enough and request it, then maybe. Anyway, moving on. 1982. This film is 43 years old. No, it's 53 years old.
No,
it's
43 years old.
I was just about to go, I should be retired by now. No, it's not that old yet. Let's not give yourself a heart attack. But talking about the cast, can I just reel off a couple of names before we get into the segments? Because I think we do have to talk about each segment. Hal Holbrook. Now, kids, if you don't know who Hal Holbrook is, look him up. One of the finest actors of his generation. And his greatness. Adrienne Barbeau, we've already talked about her a couple of times on the VHS Vault. She's amazing.
She's terrific in this movie too.
Leslie Nielsen, and I'll let you say it, Jace, because I agree with you 1,000%. Leslie Nielsen's in this film, right?
And he plays the villain, and he's darn good at it, and it shows you the range that Leslie Nielsen had before, and this is going to be a criticism of Leslie Nielsen, even though I think he was amazing. This was the range the man had before he allowed himself to be pigeonholed as a purely wacky comedic actor.
Agreed.
Because he's believable as the villain, and he is a villain you absolutely hate, even though it's Leslie Nielsen. You're like, Frank Drebin, I hope you die.
I just don't know how you create a villain like that. And it's campy. It's a comic book villain. When we're talking about he's very extreme in his ideas and his reactions. but he dances the line here that when he becomes maniacal, totally believable. And when he's screaming at the end of that segment, totally believable.
Absolutely. It
And there's E.G.
feels
Marshall.
earned.
Yeah. And there's a lot of like actors from the 70s, 80s that do kind of populate this film. Let's get into the first segment, which is, I think, one of the longest segments, if I remember. That's Father's Day. Was that a short one? I feel like
Day, Amelia, and I want my cake.
Like, I don't know how you read. It is so out of that kind of magazine because nobody writes that story for. I mean, is this based on stories of the comic book, or did they write new things for this?
I want to say it's based on comic book stories, but I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will tell me if I'm wrong. So I'm gonna say it was based on the comic book stories.
Only two, according to Wikipedia.
Only two. Okay,
and
so
that was The Lonesome Death of Geordie Verrell, which we'll
don't tell me
about.
The other one was The Crate, right?
Bingo.
I knew it.
Bingo. Like, that's pretty evident, I think, The Crate. Yeah. Oh, who is sending messages?
Crate used to scare the hell out of me as a kid. Whenever that thing. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about Father's Day.
Let's talk about the prologue, who also has an actor very familiar to people in the beginning with the father. The father is, I can't remember the actor's name, but you would know him from being
Tom
the lead
Atkins.
who was the lead in Halloween 3, the maligned Halloween 3.
Was he
was
in
the father
the
of the daughter that got killed in Lethal Weapon?
Was he in The Howling, or am I thinking of somebody else?
No, he's in The Howling as well.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
There you go. So with a great who got this kid? This kid scared me before the film even started. The look on his face, the smile.
The way that he says, "I hope you burn in hell." Oh my God. Whose child is this? Somebody had to take that kid home at the end of shooting and is just sitting there looking at him in the rearview mirror going, I'm putting a lock on your door. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Great performance, but stay away from us.
We are forgetting. There is a legend in this clip, in this wraparound story as well.
Okay. Who did I forget?
In a cameo, if you look at one of the garbage men, it's Tom Savini.
It is.
It is Tom
I
Savini.
wondered if the other guy was some guy from the production now. I just didn't know, but I did spot Tom Savini. He was great.
The young boy, Billy, by the way, was Joe King. Joe King.
Joe King. Okay.
Joe King. That is his name. I'm not kidding. His name
is going to
Joseph
do anything else?
Hillstrom King.
Oh,
he
good name.
has. Okay, here we go. He's an American writer now, and some of the things that he has written is the comic book Lock and Key, and he's an Eisner Award winner.
He wrote Lock and Key.
He wrote
this
Lock
guy
and
just isn't an author. He's accomplished.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And then he has this cool story when you meet him.
Guess who his dad is?
Who?
Stephen.
Is that Stephen's son?
That's Stephen King's son.
Lord, if you ever would grant a wish, I don't know you don't, but to get me an invite to a Stephen King Thanksgiving would mean everything. Thank you.
Would you like me to cut the turkey, son?
And you know the turkey's alive.
Cut it, Father. I hope you
know it's going to grow legs and start walking across the table. It's going to be awesome. You go to the toilet. You look at the toilet bowl. There's a clown. Hey, Jason.
Is it number 1 or is it number 2? Or is it number 3?
That's so good. All right. Father's Day. Ed Harris. Like, people go, Ed Harris is this unbelievable actor who's been, in some great Westerns, also known as being the lead in The Abyss. He's been in films. I think he was in Crimson. He's in a very serious Apollo 13, serious dramatic actor.
Yes.
This is the only time I've ever seen him play a camp kind of character. And he's fun. Except for his lack of mobility in the segment. Because who lies down there and slowly watches something that's going to crush your skull and never move once. And he wasn't held down. Nothing was holding him there.
Yeah, that's weird. I
His
kind of got
dancing's
the
weird.
feeling that maybe he thought that if I move, it will move, but I don't know. That's like a 1,000-pound tombstone, dude. You got a little bit of time.
You got a
Is
little
all
bit of
I'm
time.
saying.
But by then, really you don't care because you just want to go, yeah, man, where's the dude's cake? Like, I'm on his side the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, just get the man. This all goes away if you just give him a cake, right?
Give him the cake, Bedelia. Just give him the cake.
Just give him the cake.
I also want to give a shout out to Vivica Linsfors.
Oh, yes.
Because she was, I don't know. It was kind of a campy story, but her performance brought this air of legitimacy to it. To where
yes.
it went from being just camp, silly, haha, oh, look at the zombie, to this is scary.
Yeah.
This is a scary story. And
Yeah.
I really liked it.
It is. It is. The concept is ridiculous, but it comes down to execution. And a lot of this film does come down to execution because mishandled by George A. Romero. Yes, that's who directed this. Like, it could just be such a dud, but he's able to handle the ridiculousnesses and make it genuinely frightening at points. I remember as a kid, and I'm actually, as I rewatched it, one of the reasons I don't think I rewatched it again is because I remember as a kid, the cake segment scaring me. Here's that makeup, that physical makeup, and just seeing bits of tissue still like connected in the mouth, and like it terrified me as a child.
The thing that is brilliant about this zombie, if you ever look at it, the distant shots of him use an actor. The close-ups are a puppet. And that is why he looks so gnarly. It's the same trick they used with the Tar Man in Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah,
and
okay.
He is one of the best looking zombies out there. I think second only to the Tar Man.
Apparently, here, I'm reading this out of this. I want to throw this at you, Jace. While the ending is left ambiguous in the film, with Nathan gloating over terrified Cass and Richard in freeze frame, the comic book based on the film has the creep giving a vague hint that Nathan's next act was to blow out the candles.
Oh, yeah. I've got the comic book over there.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
You know what?
Amazing.
Keep everybody entertained for a moment.
I will. Look, at the end of the day, like, it's a bold choice to have this segment lead off your film. And it's because of that, because I take this bold thing, I think what we get is a really wonderful start to the movie. Look at it. There you go.
So let me see.
Excellent.
Let me see. Does he blow out the candle?
Does he blow out? It is apparently hinted at. It's not directly done.
Yeah, I don't think he does not blow out the candle, but he does.
Yeah. Fantastic. Isn't that great? Keep that handy, all right? I'm sure we'll go back to that a couple more times.
Absolutely.
Let's move on to the next story, which was delighted me to no end and was a lot funnier than I remember, actually. And that because of the man himself who plays Geordie Verrell, Stephen King.
The lonesome death of Geordie Verrell.
He's playing a cartoon hick. This whole segment relies on his performance, Jason.
Yes.
It lives and dies with how his reactions.
And it's so much fun. Look at that.
Wow. Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic? And Stephen King, no offense, Stephen, you don't care, you're $1 billion. Your eyes don't, consistently line up together, which just adds so much to the hick. Like that he looks so stupid in it. And the idea of it, and just the things elevating, and he's trying things, but in just such a simplistic way to try to resolve it to a point where he just doesn't bother. He just goes and sits in the chair.
He's got a way of thinking that I think is very childlike. Because I remember having the same scenarios in my head where it'd be like, oh, if I found this, I'd get $1 million from the bank. Wouldn't that be awesome? And I don't know. To me, he's probably the most sympathetic person in the entire movie, because I
Yeah,
really do think that the ending of this movie is very sad, and not
it's
this
a
movie, this
John
segment.
Carpenter ending.
Yeah, it's very sad and it's tragic because he's kind of an idiot, but at the same time, he didn't deserve it. He
No,
didn't
no,
deserve a
he didn't
thing that
deserve
happened
it.
to him. No.
And then the last shot of it spreading through to the other towns,
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, this is the John Carpenter bummer of an ending, and I'm down for it.
Absolutely.
Because maybe we've just discovered something about my psychological underpinnings here, because I laughed my ass off through that whole segment. Yet it's just tragic story. But there you go, Jace. That's the kind of quality of human being I am. All right. You ready to move on to the next one?
Yes. We just
Let's
had a
do
little
it.
skip in the space-time continuum is all.
We did a little bit, but I think they won't know, because I'm sure individual recordings will fix that.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. Otherwise, we need a StreamYard technical difficulties screen, like out of The Simpsons when they have technical difficulties.
Have you with like a Foster's?
Yeah, that's right. All right, here comes the next one. Something to tide you over.
It's such a terrible pun, but I love it.
Oh, man.
Absolutely love the bad
I was
pun.
so delightedly reminded that Ted Danson and Leslie Nielsen once worked together.
Yes. Yes. Sam
This
and
has got to
Frank
be
Drebin,
early Ted, right?
They worked together, and it was great.
This has got to be early Ted. Got to be early Ted. I mean, I hadn't seen him much before Cheers anyway, but he seems so young, and you know what I mean? Like the fact that he gets
pre-Cheers, yeah.
Yeah, definitely pre-Cheers. And the fact that at the end he dresses up like he's had to be in full makeup, full Pirates of the Caribbean 2 makeup. Like he's got all that seaweed in his hair and stuff. There's a better way to say it.
There's so much about this. These zombies too, there's so much to love about them. The fact that their voices sound like water is bubbling inside their lungs is both disgusting and fascinating, and I just love every time they get shot that this blue liquid comes out, and it's like, oh yeah, we're avoiding an X rating right now.
Yeah, we put the cart before the horse here, though, but because really, at the end of the day, this is effed up the story. I love this. It's so unnecessarily cruel and twisted of a plan.
It is.
It is. Like, if you want to see the demise of someone, this takes a level of psychopathy that is just unbelievable. Because it's not only a brilliant plan, it's also a plan where they have an opportunity to escape. You know, and it's morbid. It's morbid. Mind you, it's also limited by the technology. You know, he had to run a giant power. He had to have a generator in his car, had to run a power cable out so he could set up the TV. And these days, it'd just be your mobile phone sitting there, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You're on live streaming on
Facebook. You know, it'd be great. Leslie Nielsen would have used Facebook today. He'd be like, I ain't going to use no Instagram.
I still don't know why he wanted to kill them, though.
Because the lady was his wife, and she was cheating on him with Ted Danson. That's what
it's called getting a divorce, buddy. And I think he probably wouldn't have had to pay alimony.
It's not about the money. It's about the power.
True. Very much about the power. Very much about the power of this segment. And it's just really torturous. I really felt so uncomfortable watching the tide coming in. And it was so effective because they could have sped that up, but they didn't. Ted Danson, I feel like, is in one frame. I'm sure they did some cutaways, but we're seeing wave after wave coming in. And that's also boosted by the fact that before that, he had to watch his girlfriend do it. And then they don't cut away. We're watching the television for ages as we see this. I couldn't think of a worse way to die. That's why I love this segment, because the idea of being in that is so terrifying. And secondly, is they don't pull back. They don't hold back. You
They
know.
don't. And the performance of let me see if I can find her, of Galen Ross,
Yeah.
the actress who was playing Becky,
Yeah.
is brutal, because
Yeah.
she is like suffering the entire time, and they don't camp it up. They present it as this is a woman who is dying and who is suffering for every minute of it.
Really
And
profound.
the score that plays and the way that it's presented is so effective.
Dude, it's
It
even
is
the
so
way
effective.
Leslie Nielsen says the word Harry so many times. And every time he says the word Harry, it's almost like he's shanking him, stabbing at him. So cool. So cool. And okay, it's got to use a VCR. We're using cables and stuff like that. But man, it still holds up. It
What
really
kind
holds
of
up.
ancient fossil would be chained to VHS exactly?
Yeah, I don't know. VHS Jace, I suppose. Anyway, let's move it on. Here we go. Let's move on
This,
to
this one's my favorite. I'm just going to throw it out there. The Crate is my
the
absolute
crate
favorite of the
with the
segment.
scariest killer monkey ever.
This segment traumatized me so deeply whenever I was a kid that
I'm
I
laughing at your
could
trauma.
not sleep with a closet door open. I had to close my closet because I was determined that there was a killer murder monkey in my closet. And there was a it wasn't a stairwell like was in this segment, but there
Mm.
was this. We used to have this gym that was underneath some bleachers in my old school, and you'd have to walk down these stairs. And as you walk down, there would be this little. It wasn't even caged, but it was just basically you could see into this little storage area. I would
Mm.
walk past that thing so fast because I was determined there'd be a little crate in there. Don't
Mm.
open. There's a killer murder monkey on the inside. This is. It's just there's
It,
something just primal about this story,
yeah,
about
and it
there is
takes
this unknown
twisted
thing
turns.
that comes out of a
Yeah.
box like a jack in the box and will just eat you, and that's it. It's not gonna scare you, it's not gonna jump scare, it's just gonna eat you.
Well,
And
I love
that's
this about the
it.
story because it does the classic. He's the lead of the story, but it's not actually the lead of the story. He's just the
this
impetus,
this
really,
is
to
this is
get
the
the.
appetizer.
This is the appetizer before we get to the main. Hal Holbrook taking over the plot.
Yes.
Who has a great plan though, eh?
Oh,
Very
it's
like
terrific.
he's devious enough to figure it out. Like he saw the opportunity and went, well, look, if I take charge of this, I'm going to be able to solve a few of my own issues here.
And as you said, it's called divorce. It's
Yeah,
called
well,
divorce. That's
probably a lot
you know
cheaper to do it this way.
it probably was. And Adrienne Barbeau was
She must have had so
so
much fun.
she was so cruel and so vicious that this is one of those where you're rooting for the murderer.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. I say there are a lot of camp characters. She's more realistic than most people realize. I know. Don't
I
mean to say that, but I've known people like that before.
I think we all have. We call them Karens nowadays.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
Adrienne Barbeau as Billy was like the first true Karen ever depicted on screen.
I
And
just love the fact that she's not an object in this film. Because Adrian
no,
Barbeau, unfortunately, got labelled as an object for many years. I mean, and she's beautiful and deserves all the plaudits, but she was also a very talented actress. And here, you instantly hate the woman.
yeah,
Great
and
performance.
but at the same time, she's hilarious also. Some of the things that she yells at Hal Holbrook is legitimately funny. The whole
Yeah.
thing about, if you ever touch me again, I'll be wearing your balls as earrings. I laugh at that line every time she says it. And
and in the moment, yeah, go on.
the fact that she gets it anyway, that the murder monkey pops up like a jack in the box and takes her anyway, is so unexpected that it okay, I have to tell a story. I really hope that he's watching this. I know he's probably not, but Charles, I hope you're watching this. My cousin was at my house one day, and we lived out in the middle of rural Texas, and we had sheep in our backyard because Of course we did. My cousin is sitting in a chair next to this atrium window, and we're watching Creepshow, and then we're watching The Crate. We love to watch scary movies, even though like we couldn't sleep afterwards. We would watch these. We were probably like 8 or 9 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The murder monkey, the first reveal of the murder monkey, whenever the crate pops open and he goes, "Rah!" My cousin turns around, and there in the atrium window is a sheep staring at him right there. And he says something unbroadcastable and then falls out of his chair. And it scared me, and I jump up off the couch, and I fall over the back of the couch because I think that something's coming through the window to get him, and the sheep's just sitting there going. So yes,
didn't have a over-engorged one eyeball by any
no,
chance,
it did not have. It didn't have
Thankfully.
the big eyeball. It did ask us if we wanted to live deliciously, which I thought was weird, but I did love the taste of honey.
Yeah, wow. But so that's a 4D experience in the very definition, right?
5D if you count the soiled pants, yes.
Yes, there you go. No, look, a wonderful, like just disturbing moments of how Holbrook, like baiting her into under the stairs because he's not quite getting it, so he has to convince her. And there's something so cold about his delivery, and you know he's gone completely lost it, and he's trying to encourage her. There's just levels of how Holbrook, they're so subtle there, and it's just magnifique.
And of course, we got that ambiguous ending where he throws it into the water, and then the crate pops open.
Yeah.
And it's just so wonderful.
Well, that's great because you don't want happy endings. Do you want that monkey to be free?
This is Creepshow. We need to have unhappy endings.
That's not really. I call calling it a monkey. It's not a monkey. It's maybe got some baboonish things about it, but the teeth on the thing, these giant, they've got to be ruler size, a school ruler size fang.
Yeah. I mean, they are impressive. I mean, he looks like Harry from Harry and the Hendersons if he did meth.
The moment where he bites the side of the dude's face.
Oh,
and he scrapes. Oh, so good.
Yeah,
so good.
Great. And that poor guy didn't deserve it either.
No, he didn't. But hey, it's all good. It's all good in Creepshow.
Yeah.
Now,
incidentally, do you know the unofficial name of the monster?
No.
As he's listed in the credits, his name is Fluffy.
Oh, I love it. I'm down for that. That seems appropriate to me. I will not challenge that. They're creeping up on you, Jace. The next segment is a science fiction story in a way. Is this set in a future?
I don't think it's set in a future. I think it's just like if
he's really rich and he loves white tech
He's
things.
rich and he's basically like that millionaire from The Aviator. What was his name?
Oh, yeah.
He's Howard Hughes.
He's Howard Hughes.
If Howard Hughes lived in the 80s.
Yeah,
that's
fair
the
enough.
setup that Howard Hughes would have.
I'll take that.
But yeah, I really, this was the perfect way to end the movie, I think, because it was not straight up horror. It was more like creepy, crawly grossness, but it was ridiculous enough to kind of be the dessert after this 4-course raw bloody meal. And
well, I'm telling you this, that last story does not work in the modern day with CGI.
No.
It's the fact that everything had to be shown practical, or they did little miniatures and that is why this works, because they have to do cutaways and show some smash edits at points that are way more effective. If you just would have just shown him get eaten alive with them, and there's no fun there.
No, but, and it would have ruined that great reveal at the end where they all just kind of burst out of him. There is just...
and how did I want to see that? The making of that, because it's like they must have put a slice on his chest. And what did they do? Like, come on, guys, get through there. They must have had to push.
I'm assuming
so good.
I'm assuming that they had just this cast of E.G. Marshall's body and face, and just did an excellent job matching it to his skin. And it was just, it wasn't actually him. It was just like a fake body. Maybe they did some cuts at one point where it was like really E.G. Marshall and then it wasn't. E.G. Marshall, by the way, was so good in this. He was basically Mr. Burns from
a
The
wonderful
Simpsons.
character for decades.
Yes.
Spent a lot of time in the 50s and 60s on TV westerns, and has been a classic actor for a very long time. So he was great.
We have another cameo in this segment also by a legendary actor.
What
The
am I
voice of
forgetting?
Bob Bean is Ned Beatty.
Oh wow, the great Ned
Yes,
Beatty.
the great Ned Beatty.
Yes, fantastic. The villain of Network, because he represents the corporate.
And Superman 1 and 2.
Not
Well,
really a villain. He's
mostly
a moron in
Superman
those
1.
two. He's a moron, basically, in that. But yeah, but I love him in Network. I mean, that famous scene when he's sitting in the boardroom, laying out like the corporate ethos. Wonderful. It's great that it was in this, but you know what's even better about this film? The way they tie it up in the epilogue by making it a complete comic book experience by him ordering something from a comic book.
Absolutely. Oh, I never ordered anything from a comic book, but I always wanted to. I was just checking the comic book to see if there was an
image
the wraparound
of
story's not in it. It just ends with the bug guy.
With the bug guy. No, the voodoo doll.
The voodoo doll was great.
The voodoo doll's great.
It doesn't have it at the beginning either. That's so disappointing.
They must have done it for the film. But
he's on the cover, so I mean,
I can't believe that's Joe King, the same Joe.
I know
King.
It's Joe King. You think we're Joe King, but we're not. He is.
He is Joe King. No, absolutely wonderful, delightful. This film holds up. All right, and I'm glad to say it. I'm relieved to say it because, as I said at the beginning of this episode, sometimes things that we watch on this show don't. Our member berries poison our memory of it, and then we end up watching.
I would say that it more than holds up. I would say that Creepshow has actually improved over the years, simply because other movies don't take the care, to make an experience like Creepshow did. As you said, with the bugs would have been CGI today. They would have done them in a garage. There'd be no bug handlers on set. And there's an authenticity to seeing thousands and thousands of cockroaches in a shot, and this wonderful practical CGI makeup, and just there is an authenticity to this movie. And as I said, not only does it look great, it is an unapologetic comic book movie, and it has the style to it, the lighting, the backdrops, the weird. There's one whenever he first sees all the cockroaches, and then you see the cockroach border pops up. Yeah. I love stuff like that, and it's absolutely fantastic.
I so agree with all that. The only thing I would add is the brilliance of them realizing that the characters and performances will matter. And so whatever George A. Romero has said to these guys, he's allowed the actors to give some deliciously evil and fun performances.
And I think that is what keeps this movie from bogging down and becoming unpleasant. Like, I would say, like a Terrifier movie, because I recently watched the third one, and
they're not fun.
They're not fun. They're just unpleasant. It's torture porn. This is not torture porn because the characters are caricatures. And
this is
aside
hard
from a couple
PG. I would call this hard PG.
Yeah,
and that's in a good way.
Sorry, this was PG.
PG-13 maybe over there. Maybe it was R-rated there.
I don't think we had PG-13 at this point.
Well, that's how I see it today. If I was to rate it, I would give it a PG. Maybe PG-13.
Yeah, because honestly, there's not a lot of hard gore in it.
No, there's the head on the platter.
But there's no blood.
There's no blood.
And as I said, whenever he shoots the zombies, they don't bleed blood. They bleed like Windex.
A different color.
Yeah, interesting. Let me see. I'm curious. I want to know.
Wow. Well, have a look. In the meantime, let's talk some box office. Now, I said this was filmed in one of the most iconic years in cinema, 1982, where everything that was awesome seemed to come out in that year, and in 1989, and there's some big watermark years throughout Hollywood history. This came out November 10, 1982, with a budget of $8 million, which it's a pretty okay budget for a horror film back then. But did its job in the box office, made 3 times that amount with a $21 million return at theaters, let alone VHS sales, because I know for a fact this thing took off in VHS and on cable. Hence, then we did get a sequel a couple of years later, I believe. Maybe 3 years later, 2 years later.
Creepshow was incidentally rated R, which is
wow.
I can see it because in the crate segment there is a lot of blood. I could see that.
That's true. That is the most graphic. The fingers of the face. And,
yes.
Yeah.
I did.
But these days it would not be an R. There's no way this is an
No.
R if this is released tomorrow.
I did see the sequel in theaters. It was
yes, me too.
It was the first R-rated movie I ever went to go see by myself, and my dear mother actually bribed the lady at the ticket counter. She was like, yeah, we're not going to pay. This is a child. This is an adult ticket. I'm buying it. I'm not giving it to my son now. Go away.
The cinema I used to go to was because back in the day where people would work there for very long times, and older people. So it was an old lady at the thing, and I was Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I was going to see by myself as a 13-year-old. You could ask some other questions around that, but you probably shouldn't. But I went to go and see that R-rated, and she didn't even look up. She goes, yeah, $5, thanks, love. All right, off you go. That's Australia.
Enjoy the homoerotic movie.
She's too busy.
Change your life forever, sweetheart.
Sweetheart. Oh, you're looking rather zazzy coming out of there, love. Anyway.
Did you like seeing the naked man get whipped? You did, didn't you, you dirty baby?
You know what? I was so stunted in my education in that realm. Not once when I first saw it did I think anything like that. I come out of it going, I wish there was more Freddy killings. I didn't like how he came into the real world. I remember thinking that. And it was only a few years later when I watched it and went, oh, this is a whole different type of movie as well.
It was a couple of years later. I saw it back in the 80s whenever it first came out on VHS, and I was like, it's all right. And then I rewatched it years later. I'm like, this is a movie about a closeted guy.
And then you earn respect for it because you're going,
yeah,
he pulled the wool over everyone's eyes and we did it. And it's great. And I love it. And it stands up. It's actually iconic, I think, in that community now for some ways as being a horror film because it celebrates, I think, without just these days, it's not even a subject. You know, you would have a gay lead character. I mean, who cares these days? But he kind of did it, said it to us, but didn't say it to us. And it was great. And when you watch it now, yeah, all the girls always. I don't think there's any girl that wears anything low cut in it. No. The only people that you see skin off are men and boys.
Yep.
But anyway, that's our little.
It's a lot. It's like
that's our little re-review of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which you can watch the whole series here on the VHS Vault, Chase, can't they?
Yes,
now,
they can, and it's
before
really
you wrap it up. What's next?
Oh my goodness, my friend. Well, we are continuing our foray and our final look at one of the great unsung film series of all times. We're going to be taking a look at Hot Shots Part 2. The sequel and final movie in the trilogy.
Well, Charlie Sheen's everywhere at the moment, so why not on the VHS Vault as well?
Why not? Why not? We're going to get a little bit of that tiger blood in us and start winning. After that, well, we got the remake coming, but first, we're going to be taking a look at the original Running Man 1987 with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Is AI Arnold going to be joining us for this one?
He could definitely make an appearance. I'll make sure he can give his quick review, and we'll play it on the show, which would be amazing.
Sounds
He's fussy with his time. He's a weird dude. And it takes 20 minutes to even get anything out of him because he just hurls insults for the first 15. I've got to admit some of them are pretty funny.
That'll be totally different from us.
Yeah, we'll edit. I might edit some of those things out because seeing me in tears again is not something the audience wants. I mean, there's nothing more pathetic than a fat man crying. Let's be honest.
I could think of like 3 or 4 other things, but okay.
Okay, so
after, I think I can go ahead and reveal this. After The Running Man, We're starting another film series that is
Oh.
literally going to take up the remainder of 2025 and almost half of 2026. We are embarking on a journey of ups and downs, of lefts and rights, and forwards and backwards, from one end of the galaxy to the other, from a little desert world to wherever the hell Mandalorian and Grogu is going to take place.
Are we doing Star Trek 5? No.
Yes, we're doing Star Trek 5. No, my friends, we are going to be taking a look at every single Star Wars movie, including the TV movies.
Hang on.
I hope you like Ewoks.
You may say TV movies, but here in Australia, theatrical releases. Thank you very much.
Oh, did you have to pay to see this? It came on network TV for us, and it probably came out before it did for you guys.
We had to pay money for it.
You got to see Wilford Brimley in a Star Wars movie. How about that?
Well, just to see Wilford Brimley matters, right?
It's his second
you can never
Star
trust
Wars
him,
appearance.
Yeah.
His second Star Wars appearance. Because we're going to be looking at the first one, too.
Well, the great thing
Merry Christmas.
The great thing about Wilford Brimley is you just don't trust him in anything. I didn't trust him in Cocoon. It's just because he could have been the Thing. And ever since that movie, I can't trust the man.
I don't think diabetes is a real disease. I think diabetes is the way that the Thing infiltrates you.
Yeah, look, I think diabetes exists, but diabetes...
Yes, but diabetes, no.
Diabetes. No, definitely not. All right, Jace, let them know how they can get involved and support us. We need to help. We need your help.
Where's our Patreon? So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, please click. On the video description below, you will find a link to our Patreon where you, yes, you, not you, but you, can donate $5 a month to us or more if you wish, or you can become a YouTube channel member and get all of this delightful content early, including...
This is great stuff.
The Caravan of Courage and the Ewok.
Yeah.
I'm so
excited. I know that's going to be great, but it is, Jason, you're bearing the lead here. It is spooky month. I don't know when these guys will get to see it, but if you love horror films, you are in the right channel. Jason has been working his backside off for all you people out there with his 31 days of horror.
Yes. 31 spooky movies of Halloween. I do hope that you're enjoying it. And whenever this does air, I think it'll be, this will be on October 24th. I really hope I haven't messed up and missed a day by now because this is so hard.
So by this point, you'd have 24 to watch also. After watching this, you'll have 24 other videos to watch.
And then 7 more.
And there's even one movie that you get to watch twice because you can not only watch Jason's great review of Q the Winged Serpent, you can go right back to early days of VHS Vault and rewatch our review on it as well.
And it is a great movie. If you have not seen Q the Winged Serpent, it's free, like literally everywhere. Go watch it. It's Michael Moriarty. It's Shaft. It's
the fact that we didn't go up to the building and look for the egg, Jason, when I was in New York, missed opportunity. Just saying. Could have found it. Oh, actually, no, the egg would have been like on Bleecher Street because it looked like it was. And it looked like it was Dr. Strange's house where the egg was. But anyway, great stuff, Jace.